This is Chris, a dating doc with Dating Doc Raw. For those that don't know, okay, you might see some other videos that are more helpful, quote unquote, PG rated, angelic videos. The Dating Doc Raw, this is where I let a whole nother side out of me, okay? I see clients privately in a very respectful environment where I go through such tools from neuro-linguistic programming, cognitive behavioral therapy, 5 love languages, attachment styles, etc., etc. Dating Doc Raw is where I hold people accountable in a different way. This is where you see the ugly side of me. And I'm going to target the toxic manosphere again. A couple of weeks ago, I did a video entitled "The Toxic Manosphere is Dying." And it's funny, it's so ironic because I got a flood of people from a certain group, right? This was shared on some Battletoads Ninja Turtle guy that I don't know who he is. And what was funny, this was all based on hypersensitivity. And these guys, they go into this 24/7 loop on YouTube. All they do is YouTube. So this is a shout out. This video, this audio video is entitled YouTube equals the digital man cave of the toxic manosphere. That's all it is. This is all and everything some people do. And their only attack, their only comeback might be subscriber count, might not be as much as them, or how many videos they've done. Look, brother, I'm living my life beyond YouTube. And some of your followers need to do the same instead of listening to your Battletoad, non-rapping, whoever. I honestly forget his name. It's like Necro or Undead something. So I'm gonna tell you this funny story here. So I made the video, Toxic Manosphere is Dying, and they always have the same comebacks, right? They always say you're beta, you're being a shrimp. There's a similar word, but I don't want to get demonetized. Maybe that's a word now that YouTube demonetizes. I don't know. Feminist, or you're not awake. It's always the same stuff, right? Which is ironic because they're all copying each other. So are they truly awake free thinkers if they're all copying each other, right? Anyways, so one of them responded and said something like, "This movement is not dying, you beta shrimp," something like that. And I responded with a couple sentences, right? I basically blasted. I say, "Hey, look, dude, I already know you type of folks," and left a couple of sentences there. So he responds and he says, "That's funny. You had to write a whole paragraph," something to that point. So then I come find out, I was searching my videos to see how they searched up on, or how they looked on SEO ranking. And ironically, this guy was poking fun at the fact that I wrote a paragraph. He creates a 20-minute video on me. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that you spent so much energy on researching me, trying to find the worst still you can to make a thumbnail. How many hours did that take you, huh? I wonder if that took more time than the paragraph that I responded with. That's so funny, brother. That's so funny. So it got me to thinking, if he poked fun at the fact that I wrote a response that basically was just a drop the mic response, like, dude, I already know who you are. Inside and outside this digital manosphere, this YouTube world, I know what kind of guy you are. I've ran into guys like you. There's such thing as toxic subordinates in the military, right? These are knuckleheads that you give them direction, you give them purpose, and they want to do the opposite thing just to cause trouble. And I already know I've dealt with these types. I've dealt with clients that are like that you work with them and they still demand a supermodel, and they acting like trash. I know the kind of guy. The difference is this digital space empowers a lot of people that are powerless in the real world, that don't need that kind of power, don't need that kind of platform. Okay, this is different from a grassroots movement that has an actual purpose. See, here's the difference. Yeah, I counsel clients and I do my thing as a dating coach and running a dating service industry, but I'm not afraid to go in on you guys, because here's the thing. The difference is who I'm really targeting are the ones that are on the fence wondering if they should listen to your toxic stuff. And what you do is you disguise it with a little bit of nutritional facts inside your poison. But guess what? They're still drinking poison. So I'm trying to reach those that are like, man, I don't know, okay, well, this Battletoads Ninja Turtles character here, he's kind of funny. He roasts people, and he it's easy to come up with these labels and generalizations on people that are in the Manosphere world, right? He can roast while people are climbing trees, right? It's kind of like the one that's at the bottom of the tree hasn't even climbed the tree, right? They're standing on the grass and they're looking up, pointing at the guy that's climbing the tree, making his climb, poking fun, even though he's down there, right? That's all this guy does. And I hope he hears this video, by the way, because I know he's going to get hypersensitive. And he can either do two things. This could be a lesson in taking the high road, or in changing your narrative, because I'm coming after your followers that are on the edge, that need to truly be woke. Because once you get into a cultish groupthink mentality, you're not woke. You're not a free thinker. Okay? You don't even have to follow my advice other than be a free thinker, completely be free and woke. But what happens is YouTube becomes this very attractive and seductive digital man cave that, honestly, if you're drinking that poison, can radicalize a young man. I can't speak much about what's happening on the feminist side, but I'm sure it's happening. I'm sure there's a lot of man bashing happening, a lot of groups, a lot of woman-ran groups that are advocating for women to ignore men or set up dates and just use them for dinner. I'm sure there's the same thing happening that's happening in the toxic side of the manosphere. So all I'm saying, okay, the point of this entire video, whether you want to call it a negative reinforcement or you want to feel belittled or mock, I'm not mocking you and I'm not trying to belittle you. But if negative reinforcement will work, right? If you feel pissed off that in some ways I might be right, that you may be sitting down watching too much YouTube and it's getting to your brain, unplug. You got that power. These big tech companies have gotten to the point where, yeah, they want you sitting down and watching more and more and more. And we've created these digital man caves where we don't want to escape, especially in the times we're living in. We feel like we don't have an excuse. We don't have options. But you got to unplug from this digital man cave. And if not, go and do an actual how-to. Learn a dance. Learn how to draw something. Learn origami. I don't care. Learn philosophy. But if you're stuck in the poisonous cycle and you literally have not bettered your life other than risk aversion to woman, right? Because that's okay, now I'm more careful. Women aren't going to play me. I'm going to play woman. If that's all your benefit in watching an average of 3 to 4 hours a day of YouTube on the same rhetoric, you're not really living life. You can be mad at me. You can come up with the same old, you're feminist, you're beta, you're shrimp, blah, 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 blah. Look, here's the deal. I'm living life, okay, whether that sounds obnoxious to you, okay? I'm a responsible, loving father. Just last week, I was a keynote speaker, one of 3 keynote speakers for a networking event. I'm learning Portuguese. I ran this morning with troops in the military. A couple years ago, I was deployed in the Middle East. I just had a video speed dating event for my company last week, so things are happening outside of this whole sphere of YouTube. And if your only comeback is, I got more followers, I got more views, here's the thing. At a certain age, at a certain maturity, at a certain self-esteem level, that doesn't hurt me, okay? And I want you to know that. I know you're going to say you just don't have that many followers and it shows. I don't know how else to tell you. It does not hurt me. I'm going to sleep tonight. Okay, I'll pop in a documentary on Netflix and I'll sleep tonight. There is so much more to life. So for those that are on the fence, that listen to this 24/7 loop mental loop cycle of stuff that it's kind of repetitive. Unplug a little bit, realize you're in this digital man cave that can be YouTube at times, and go for stuff that really makes you gold instead of bronze. Let's keep shining, warriors.